You know the deal.
Every episode we should say so longer and longer. So it'll start off as like so. By the
Like
end
bogies.
Of it, yeah. By the end of it we're gonna be like so.
Your audio's cut out. You were going that loud. Stop. That's so funny.
Don't. The whole of London now are gonna be like coming down the street. What are you drinking this week, G?
Yeah, so we're drinking Bellinis. These are my favourite cocktails. So just got that cheap ass Prosecco, you know, that £4 shit. And then I'm pretty sure Bellini's with
peach, isn't it? Usually like peach.
Yeah, it's a puree. That's it. I think it's peach puree. That's my favourite flavour, but you can get like other purees. So then I went to the cordial section, dead. So then I went to the press section and I found Nicks and Kicks.
Nice.
Sponsor us, please. Thanks. That's a shout out.
We've got like 12 sponsors now.
I know. We're just like begging it. Sparkling mango ginger with cayenne zing. So
Nice.
you'll have to excuse, guys, that are watching on YouTube, the dead ass class, okay? I don't want to talk about it. It's not up for discussion.
It's good that we're bringing Bellinis back because soon it's going to be brunch again.
Ooh, we're going to be going on those
Brunch
rooftop
time.
brunches.
So if
I'm
any
excited.
of you go out to brunch and you're feeling a bit naughty and you're not driving, get yourself
Naughty,
a
naughty.
Bellini, little Bucks Fizz.
Bellini.
Mimosa.
Mimosa. Yeah, so we love that. One day I will upgrade my cups, but for the meanwhile, no.
And maybe we'll upgrade our alcohol as well, because so far we've had Tesco Morrison's own brand.
And
Sorry
£4
about that.
Prosecco.
Exactly.
I mean, we're doing it all for blah, blah. We're doing it for all you fellas out there that cannot afford petrol. Okay, I got you. £4 Prosecco. You're done.
So obviously last week we were talking about relationships.
Shits.
Weird dating app experience basically. So we're gonna move it along because we'll get into proper relationships one day when we get to know you a little better. But
That's a bit deep.
yeah, exactly. A bit too deep for episode 2. So this week we thought we would share some stories from like growing up, going to school, some funny things that happened, and maybe give some advice if anyone's younger listening.
Yeah.
Just some advice on how to get through school, college, that kind of thing.
Yeah. That's good.
So, should we talk about how we met?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
So me and Grace met in year 7. Grace was a bit late to the party because did you
2
start
months.
at another school or something? What happened?
Nah, mate. So my mum, I actually got given another school because I live in Hastings. We went to school, not in Hastings. And I got given another school and my mum was like, you're not going there. That is the shit pits, okay? You're not doing it. So she held me back from school and she like had to go to court and everything. And yeah, I got in to our school and only knew like 2 people. I knew one of my friends. I did this Fame production with her. It was so funny. Oh, actually, both of them I did it with. So yeah, I literally had like 2 friends. And then we were in form together.
Yeah, we were in form. We were in the food tech room. For some weird reason, was our form room. So we had to sit we had to sit in a kitchen every morning, basically.
It was great.
And sometimes it was dirty as fuck.
Really? Nah, Miss
like
had that on lock.
in the drawers they had like baking stuff on the cutlery and shit.
Ugh, grim.
We
Grim,
also
grim,
had
grim.
this guy who shall not be named in our form who was like the Casanova, or thought he was the Casanova of school, and still to this day
Stop!
thinks he's the Casanova of all the women we went to school with.
Bless him. We love you.
We do.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. He likes to message everyone from our girl group saying that we're all special to him. thinking that we won't discuss it behind his back.
Yeah, I think, didn't we discuss, like, us girls about doing a bingo? So, like, go through our texts with him one night when we're all together drinking, and if he's ever said that to us, we have to take a drink.
Yeah, we've got to play that still. That would be so
We're going to
funny.
do it before our next night out, or we can do it on the night out. That would be so hilarious.
Okay, I like that. We're going to be fucked.
Whoa! We had the famous girl, she was one of my close friends in school, who never missed a day of school, not one.
Yeah, right. Listen to this, guys. We had this girl in our class, in our form, and out of 5 years of school, never missed one day.
Never, ever. She got an award.
That is an achievement. Yeah, like, too right, she should get an award. Like.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't really remember her getting sick. I remember having, like, a cold once, but she's probably got, like, an amazing
she was like, no, she was actually, like, sick. We, like, got on the bus together every morning, and she'd text me on the days I wasn't coming in. She's like, are you not getting on? Because I'll stop the bus. And I'm like, nah, you carry on.
You're just chilling at home watching TV. She's, like,
we also...
dying.
Oh, yeah. We also had my first ever boyfriend. He was on my table and everything. To be honest, we were, like, best friends through school. Like, he was, like, literally a very close friend of mine. Loved him to pieces. Even after school, like, we still went on nights out.
Right.
Yeah. He bought me the JLS CD the day it came out in the morning.
And the hoodie? Did you get you the hoodie as well? The blue one?
Not that I'm aware of. I think that was just a classic G. Greaves wear, but, you know, could have been him.
Who was the blue? Who was the blue in JLS?
They had colours.
Yeah.
Are they the Power Rangers?
They had... No, because they brought out those condoms as well. Do you remember? The JLS condoms.
Oh my
And there was
God,
a yellow one, a blue one, a green one and a red. Like the Teletubbies.
But my
The Cummy Tubbies.
Sorry, Mum. My hoodie wasn't even that shade of blue. So
what else were you obsessed with at school?
pulling...
Sorry.
Hold on. Do you remember the moon boot?
Yeah,
Do you remember my moon boot?
Something.
Oh my God. So, guys, story time. One time, because this kind of leads on to what I was doing in school for the last 2 years. One time I actually really liked school. I didn't really ever try and pull a sickie or anything. And one time I woke up and I was like, Mum, I genuinely can't walk. And she was like, you're chatting shit. You're not taking a day off school. You better walk to the bus stop and get there. Bearing in mind, the walk to the bus stop was like 25 minutes.
She's like, you better walk to school. You've missed the bus. Walk all the way. 2 towns, 3 villages across. You're walking.
And then the bus took like at least 45 minutes to an hour to get there because obviously you're stopping all the time. And I was like, no, Mum, I can't walk. Like, you don't understand. So she was like, for fuck's sake, I've got to take a day off work. Then I'm going to have to get your sister out of school. And then we're going to the Conquest. So I was like, right then. Brandon, sorry, Mum, I know you don't sound like that, but that's my impression, so you just got to deal with it. We went to Conquest and then was waiting up there for hours. She was livid. As the minutes were going by, you can imagine my mum, she was
getting
like...
redder and redder, like...
Can't believe I'm dealing with this shit. Anyway, so got an x-ray or whatever, and then this isn't physically possible, but what I remember the doctor telling me is that I shattered my Achilles tendon. You can't shatter a tendon, so... Well, not that I'm aware of. Oh my God, you crazy. Yeah, not that I'm aware of, don't think you can do that, but something happened to my tendon, my Achilles tendon. It was awful, it was so painful. And I just looked at my mum like, see? My mum was literally like, right. Anyway, so I had to have a cast for like a week or 2 weeks. It was like the bare minimum. And then I had a moon boot for like 3 months. Anyway, I milked this moon boot for 2 years, guys. 2 years, okay? To the point... No, fuck that. I didn't want to do cross country either, which is a whole nother story. A whole nother story. Didn't want to do cross country. So, yeah, I milked it. And it was to the point where my head of house even like came and pulled me out of form once. Do you remember this? Do you remember when he did that?
No,
oh my God, it was so funny. He pulled me out of form. He was like, can I speak to Grace Greaves? Bearing in mind, at this point, I was like deputy head girl of my house, okay? I got a rep to uphold, okay? And here I am trend-setting, wear your moon boots so you get out of PE. And he pulls me out and he's like, look, Grace, I feel like me and you both know that the joke's up now and you don't need the moon boot anymore. And I was never really that kid that like fought with a teacher or, went against them. And I was like, sir, you don't understand. If you want to call my doctor, you can call my doctor because I can't take this moon boot off. I was thinking, Grace, come on, there's 2 more weeks till cross country. You just got to wait till then. And then you've got no more cross country for the rest of your life, okay? And he was literally like, right. And I was like, honestly, sir, you can call my mum, like honestly. And he was like, okay, Grace, like whatever, and just let me get on with it. So so wasn't a fan of cross country. Do you have any cross country stories?
No, I just remember, you probably did this as well if you ever did it, was you used to walk most of the circuit, and then when you get to a point where a teacher was on the corner, you'd like pretend like you were giving it everything. So you'd like walk down the high street and you get to the first teacher at the woods and you'd be like, yeah, just going, still going. You get past him and he's just like, yeah, so I told her, right, Amber, yeah, she wouldn't just stop laughing at this thing. Just like next one.
Stop.
Like,
do you remember when they used to actually record us?
No, I didn't know that. Yes.
Jemima, how do you not remember this? So the teachers, they filmed us at certain points. I can't say names anyway, but just they did. And like when we got back in the hall, then we got back to school, changed back into our uniform, and then we'd go in the hall. And then it would be playing. They played it on the wall. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that. Shit.
That is so
I was probably
funny.
like one of the last ones to get there, so I missed most of the movie. Yeah, that's mad. I remember once we were doing, I was going to say the Olympics then. Sports day. Once we were doing the Olympics.
Olympics.
We're doing sports day, and I remember I was set to do the high jump. And I literally flat out didn't turn up. And do you remember if you participated, you got a point?
Yeah.
And
oh my God.
Yeah. And our head of house storms in right to our form into the kitchen. And he's like...
Into the kitchen.
Right. He's like, right, guys. So I'm actually not very happy with you this sports day because we've lost by 1 point. Because someone looked at me, didn't turn up for their event. And I think I just went, I'm on my period, sir.
Stop.
And he was like, right, well, I'm just very disappointed. I didn't want to do the high jump. Like, I've got one life. If I don't want to do the high jump, I don't want to do the high jump.
Oh, I did javelin. That was my game, mate. No one even really knew that about me as well. But like once we were in PE and I literally did one swing at javelin and the teacher was like, I was like, mic drop.
The only thing I was good at was when we did inter-house and we did like the bat and ball games, and I always played softball.
I thought you were going to say GCSE dance.
Oh no, I'm coming to that, don't you worry. But we did inter-house and I played softball and I was actually really good at it. And once, like, because you know, like if someone bats the ball and then if you're fielding, if you catch it without the ball hitting the ground, that is out.
Yeah, no.
And I don't know if it was karma or I manifested it or I just needed to get my revenge. I caught out the 4 most popular boys in a row. And I remember the last one, I was on the last base when I caught it, and he ran past and he barged into me. And I was like, fucking hell.
Whoa!
But I got the boys.
Your girl did
I
it.
got the boys.
Ooh,
I got the boys.
ooh,
I got the boys.
Ooh, kill him.
But yeah, that was
I actually did that with cricket when we went to like the county finals in primary school. I was just in
Was
like
this
the
when you performed for Prince Charles again?
I was just in the like BTEC version of the BTEC team, and I was like the last option, but they had to like for some reason sub me in at some point because I couldn't just sit all day
Someone else
enjoying.
had their moon boot on.
And we'd like travelled hours to like Crawley or something, and we were playing there against. I mean, it was.
You make it sound like it's like a 6-hour trip. It's like an hour.
No, I know. It's like
We
an hour.
travelled days, girls, just to get to Crawley.
We walked there. Yeah, that was.
We all
just,
needed
yeah.
moon boots after the trip to Crawley.
Yeah, so I caught someone out, and it was like the best day of my life, and everyone was looking at me like, is that Grace
Like
Greaves?
you just threw the javelin.
And I'm like, yeah, damn straight that was.
That's
Don't
so
look at me
funny.
twice.
That's like movie shit, you know, when they don't believe it and then the underdog comes up and just scores the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, for that shit.
100%.
But yeah, going
love
back to
that.
what you were saying, we had this thing called Interhouse, and then halfway through the year it was the bat and ball games, and then when it got to kind of winter, I think it was, there was just like weird niches, so you could just do like weird things, and we did dance. And there was 4 of us, and we had to choreograph the dance, and I was just like, right, I'm doing it.
I was always in that with you, and you
Yeah.
were always the choreographer. Oh my god, I remember now.
Because everyone would be looking at each other like, I only picked dance because I didn't want to do tag rugby. So I'm like, right, come and then do some weird shit choreography.
Oh my god.
But we
stop.
won.
Do you know
we won
why?
all the time.
Do you know why you were thinking of the Olympics? Because one of the times the theme was the Olympics. We had hula hoops.
Do you remember? And I made the 2 other girls. I was backpacking one of them, and they were backpacking one of you, like piggyback. Sorry. And we were going around like it was the horses in the Olympics.
Stop!
And then I think we put like,
God.
what's that thing called, the Winter Olympics, where it's like, oh, I always forget the name of it.
Hockey?
You know, no, where you like scrape it and then the thing's like, curling.
Don't ask me, mate.
Curling.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And I made us like
Me
go
curling
like
my
this
hair.
as a dance move.
That is just atrocious. And we won, I swear.
We always won. We always won.
We
I made
always
sure
won.
of it. Sure of it. I was like,
We
this is the
love
one
that.
thing I know I'm good at. So get on each other's backs and pretend you're fucking horses. So I think we've gone full circle there, where basically me and Grace met in our form. Although one time she did come up to me and she went, just wanted to tell you that I don't like you. And I was
No, hold on. Can I change it? That wasn't what happened. So I did come up to you like an arsehole, and I was like, we were like really close friends at this point, and I was for some reason so proud of myself that I'd come out and been honest that I did not like Jemima like a year ago, and I was like, just wanted to let you know, like, there's actually a time where I really didn't like you, but I'm telling you now because we're best friends. And who the hell I thought I was?
I was just
Disgusting
sat there
child.
like, alright. Thanks. But yeah, that's how we met. And then, but other than that, we weren't in any lessons together because the year was split into 2. I was in one half, you were in the other. I think all 3 of us in our girl group were in one half and you were in the other.
Yeah.
Loser.
Actually, Lizzie might have been in mine, but just been
No, she wasn't.
way
She
more
was in my
intelligent.
maths.
Oh, that's all good. But do you know who I did have? So you can suck it. I had Aaron next to me in every lesson because of our surnames.
Shout out, Azar.
So shout out again to the editor, the one and only.
I wonder if he was sat next to you thinking, God, this girl's so fucking annoying.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Honestly,
I
he
never
actually
see her
must
after
have.
prom.
Yeah. He actually must have, because I swear all I did was like, Aaron, I don't get it. Like, So do you have a pen? Because I didn't bring my pencil case. Do you have paper? Because like literally it was like you've just.
How do you say hello in French?
It's like he just dragged me from the woods and I had no substance. And I was just like, sorry, you need to like lend me everything. This was like in history, they put me in a set. I'm pretty sure Aaron was in my set as well. Loads of smart people. My row was like one of like in the top 10, 3 intelligent people in our whole year, right? And I was just sitting there like, who the fuck put me in this class then? And honestly, every lesson I just felt like such an idiot. But I failed, so, you know, bit of a waste of time.
So, what were your optional extras that you took when it came to GCSEs?
I took history, art general art, art general.
Major art. Sergeant art.
I took
Captain
French. Oh my god, stop. I took French and... Did we have to take more?
I had to do 2 languages because I was
Oh, I
so
did
good.
media as well. I did media.
Media.
I think we both did, didn't we? Did you?
No, I took...
Oh.
No.
Never.
I had to do French and German because I was in the top cert for some weird reason. Got lots of stories about that language.
Oh my god, I've got an Amber story about it. I've got an Amber story.
Alright,
and there's someone else. Yeah.
And then I took dance, history, and textiles. And I was with these girls that were like so good at embroidery, and me and my best friend at school were just fucking around gluing shit with the hot glue gun.
That's so funny.
Right.
That is so funny.
Okay, what's your story then, big boy?
I'm just gonna tell it for Amber, so hopefully I get it like to a T.
She won't remember anyway.
Nah, she's told us this story so many times. Even you probably know it. She was in German. She was doing her oral exam, and she said that she'd gone to the movies. And when her teacher asked her in...
How good this story is.
You hyped it up now. When her teacher replied in German and was like, oh, cool, what did you go to the movies to see? Rather than just saying, oh, Harry Potter and Order of the Phoenix, she went, Peter and the Flying Pig? Stop every time she tells me that story.
She made up
Obviously,
the movie completely.
What is Peter and the Flying Pig?
Und der Flying Pig. I want to know what the follow-up question was.
I actually can't. I want to know.
Those
and then someone else
exams were fucking scary though. They were terrifying. It was like a job interview in a different
Oh
language.
my god, do you know what I learned just for my oral exam? And our teacher at the time, after my oral, was like, Grace, why didn't you just mime to me? Like, because where it's on record, if I did that, she could have helped me and mimed something. But because I physically went, je ne comprends pas, which means I don't know, I don't understand. She was like, I literally said it every sentence. She was like, are you fucking for real? There was someone else as well, like the smartest guy. He had his French exam, and I think it was French, and his teacher was obviously talking to him. He said the whole entire time he spaced completely on his oral and did everything just in a French accent. So I was like, yes, I can't even do a fucking French accent. It's going to come out German.
Yes, I really did like going to the cinema. I like eating baguettes. I like having croissants. Do I get an A star?
A star and an A plus to Jemima Bowler.
That's so funny though. I remember in mine, because my teacher, like, I don't know, had a weird thing going on. And I remember just sitting there.
Are you talking about who I think you're talking about?
Yeah, you know exactly who I think about.
Yeah.
And I was just sat there like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't. And it's all on recording. Like, look, I didn't actually prepare for this. I don't want to do it. I hate these exams. I don't have to do it. Like, this is like the 4th time I've had to do these exams, and I was literally sick. And by this point, the relationship I built up with this teacher was like, I could just say whatever I wanted. And I was like, I just don't want to do it. And then, so the whole recording is me saying that, and then him giving me like a prep talk, like, okay, look, we'll do it again, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, there, like, no.
Not today.
Not today. So I got the courage up to say that. But the same teacher, once I was in the school library and I was typing, because he was like, I think it was after this test, and he sent me like an email about like how I can do it, sort my attitude out, whatever. And I sent an email back, which was just like normal, but I changed his name in my address book on emails to the twat. And I was like, that'll teach him, thinking like I was the only one that could see it. Get called into his room, and he was like, look, do you want to explain something? Shoves the computer out, and it was like, oh, the twat.
Stop!
And I just went, well, you are sometimes though, aren't you? And he was like, yeah, well, fair point, but if this was any other teacher, you'd be in trouble. You'd be getting after schools. And he was like, you can be a bit of a twat sometimes too. And I was there like, can't call me that. I'm a minor.
I'm a minor. My mum will hear about this.
Don't worry, I'll do a diss track soon anyway.
Did you ever get excluded or isolation?
No, the worst thing I ever got was 4 after schools in year 7, and Amber was with me, right? We were on the bus, and our bus was public, so it went through like the neighbouring town rival school, like right into the school.
I know.
Didn't really drop anyone off or anything, but whenever we went through, we used to be like, oh, like, our school's better than you, blah blah blah. And then it got to a point where the other kids were like getting eggs, and they'd egg the bus when we went past. So one time we went past the other school, and me and Amber and this other girl who was a nutter was going, whoa, wankers, like, in the bus. And because it was a public bus, we didn't realise a substitute teacher was sat at the front, and she told of us. She got to school and she told of us. She was like, yeah, these girls were swearing at the school, and we got called in for 4 after schools. And I was just thinking, like, I was a bit like embarrassed, but then I was just like, oh, it'll be fine, I'll just tell my mum, whatever, it'll pass. I look at Amber as we're getting told off by the deputy head, and she is crying. She's like shaking and crying, and I know exactly
I
what's
would
going
be
on in her head.
scared because she's
like,
thinking my mum
is gonna absolutely murder me. So I'm looking at her. The other girl doesn't give a shit. This is like nothing to her. I'm like, whatever, okay, we'll get through this. Turn to Amber, and she's just like, and then afterwards, like, she snapped out of it. She's like, I know what I'm gonna do. She's like, I'm gonna get home and I'm gonna get the letter before my mum gets it. She's like, I've got it sorted. Genius, Einstein moment. She gets home, opens the door, and her mum's sitting there like, what's this?
Oh no.
And from that day, I don't think Amber ever was like allowed out. It's so funny.
My god, this is like so my other best friend Jemima, very funny, we became friends, like we became like close mates, like I don't know, like a year into school. And she oh my god, we were die-hard Conor Maynard fans, die-hard, okay. Anyway, this is what the story is about. Anyway, my nana's partner bought me,
I know
like,
this story. Sorry, guys.
he bought me like multiple tickets, but I saw Conor Maynard like quite a few times, so I think this was the time that it was just me and Jemima. We might have saw friends there, I don't know. Anyway, the concert was at Brighton Dome. If you know where that is, it's literally down the road from the station, okay? It takes like 5 to 10 minutes max to walk there. And we went there obviously in broad daylight. To be fair, we were like 13, but I think where I grew up in such a different environment, and like my dad lived in London half the time, so I'd just get a train up there and he'd meet me the other end. Like, it was kind of nothing. Anyway, we get down to the Dome. everything's great. Jemima told her mum that my dad, so I had no doing in this, okay, I just want to side note. Jemima told her mum that my dad was meeting us at Brighton Station, bearing in mind my dad did not drive, and he lived miles away from the station. He was meeting us at Brighton Station to walk us down to the Dome, and then when it finished, meet us at the Dome to walk us back to Brighton Station. Anyway, that was all bollocks. We went to the concert, had the best time ever, had face paint all over our faces, looked like absolute idiots. Get back home, everything's dandy. Then I think it was a few days later, Jemima had told her other best friend, who was also a family friend, that it was a lie and my dad was not meeting us. So this best friend told Jemima's mum, Snake, okay? It's all right. We haven't got beef anymore, but snaky. And Jemima's mum was so fucking angry.
Pest.
I cannot even tell you. Past.
She was
Oh my god.
past.
Oh my god. Shows.
Oh my god. Cheers.
And yeah, Jemima was like, she got her phone taken off her for like 3 months, and she basically never saw me outside of school again. I think she was grounded from seeing me outside of school for like 6 months, but it was pretty much for like way over a year. So
That's crazy.
that was a madness. I did get isolation once as well.
Why?
I did.
What was isolation? Was that whilst you were still at school but you had to be taught on your own for a bit?
Yeah, but then the deputy head, because we were like besties, he was like, oh, just come in the teacher room with us. So I was literally with all the teachers, loving my life. It was great. Normally, isolation is literally you're in a room by yourself, like 4 walls. Normally
It's
with
kinda
like the
scary,
behaviour
that, isn't
teacher.
it? It's like prison.
Pretty freaky, yeah. So when I was in year 11, for some dumb reason, this was when ombre became a thing straight away, and I thought I could get the ombre home kits. Bearing in mind, this is, if you can see me, this is my natural colour. I have pretty much black hair. So I did the ombre kits with my best friend, and we bleached my hair like multiple times, and it was horrible. It was literally, there was no ombre.
Good.
There wasn't.
thought that looked
It
good,
looked
that bob.
good. It looked good when I'd cut it. So at the time, it was like a boob length, okay?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
when you cut
then-
into that bob, stunning, mamma mia.
Yeah, and then like just below my shoulders is when the blonde. Sorry, just above. Wait. My chin.
Yeah.
My chin line. My chin line is where the blonde stopped, okay? From boob to chin, okay? And anyway. Bin.
Bin.
It was such a rat's tail. It was gross. Went to my other close friend's house, and her mum was like a hairdresser on the side kind of thing, in the alleyway.
Down the back streets.
So I was like, do you know what? I was like, just chop it off. Just chop it off. It was so dead. So she did me a bob. And I clearly remember, because I didn't tell my mum, but my mum's chill. She wouldn't be pissed about this.
Should have been fine.
I was walking down the high street from school one day, and she'd picked up my little sister from like the neighbouring primary school. And I was like, oh, I'll meet you on the high street. So I was going to call her when I got there. Anyway, I walked past her, and my mum always tells me this story. She's like, I literally looked at you, didn't realise it was you because it was like from the side and behind, and was like, wow, that girl's hair is so cool, like so gorgeous, like she's so beautiful. And then she realised it was me, her child. Yeah, so I chopped it all off. So bearing in mind, before I chopped it, I had the blonde ombre for maybe like a month at least. Right. And then chopped it off, and then as soon as I chopped it off, every single teacher realised, because the blonde was more prominent because it was a bob. So it didn't like, I don't know, it was just more obvious. Anyway, they did an announcement in like all the forms throughout the whole entire school. If you've got ombre hair, go to the hall this morning. And so I was like, right, okay, great, I've got to go to the hall. Bearing in mind, we were in year 11 at this point, weren't we? It was it was literally like 3 months before we were leaving. So it was so pointless. And then I went to the hall. But I didn't. Hold on 1 second. So I was still in form and I looked around and I was just like, and none of you bitches going to come with me?
Pretty sure I
because
had ombre.
Yeah, I'm spotting. And at this point, right, I'm not a grass, but if you're going to punish me for something that 600 other pupils have, nah, mate, you need to open your eyeballs. So standing in form, like, miss, are you actually serious? Because half of the other girls in this form have it. She was like, well, it's up to them if they want to go to the hall or not. And I was just like, but you know that I'm going to go to the hall. You know that I'm going to go to the hall because I'm scared. So I went to the hall. Deputy head teacher was there. And one other little year 7 girl turned up. And I was like, are you joking me right now? I thought it was going to be Ramo. I thought it was going to be a rave in the hall with ombre coloured hair girls, okay? And he was like, well, Grace, you know, it was their choice if they didn't want to come, but basically you're in isolation until you dye your hair back. And I was like, sir, I don't think you understand. I have to dye my hair red first and then I have to dye it black. I can't just go black, it will go green, okay? And he was like, right, well, you know, maybe I'll speak to your mum about it. Anyway, the bell for first period goes off. We're standing like in the hall doors, like this massive hall, but in the doorway, and the doors were open. And do you remember the main corridor, Jemima? The bell goes for first period. Everyone's on their way to first class. And I was like, she's got ombre hair. She's got ombre hair. She's got ombre hair.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
What did it mean? Like, hey, what are you dropping me in it for?
I was literally not having it. And he was like, well, you know. So yeah, I had isolation for like 2 days. But it was pretty cushy, to be fair. It wasn't,
did you dye it?
It wasn't horrendous. I did anyway for prom and then made my mum buy me extensions because I'm a loser. So that was great.
Oh my god, this is making me so like happy reliving these memories. There's just
So
many of
nostalgic,
them.
isn't it?
One of the biggest memories for me at school was Chicken Burger Day.
Oh
CBD.
my! People would fight.
Yeah, let me start the story. So basically, Chicken
you
Burger
just tell
Day wasn't really a prominent thing when we first joined. Like, the food was pretty good at school. Like, it was just fatty crap, but I loved it. Like, pizza, you
it was great.
those pastries with the cheese and bacon, like all the stuff I just want to eat now.
Yum.
They had the pizza swirls.
Oh,
They had bacon butties in the morning with a hot chocolate. I'd get
oh
that
my god,
every
those
morning.
were so
I'd get,
good.
like, the fattiest bacon bun. I'm just like, could never eat that now.
Yeah.
But there was this one day. It wasn't even one day at first. They just, every so often they did like this chicken burger, and it was literally like KFC. It was delicious. It was like battered chicken, mayo, lettuce, sesame bun. Mamma mia. Obviously, these chicken burgers got really popular, so they started putting them on a specific day, right? Yeah. And when they started doing that, and we knew when they were coming.
Can I just say, they were literally like chicken mayo burgers from McDonald's.
They were delicious, but bigger. Like twice the size.
Bigger.
So we knew when they were coming now. And I think it was a Thursday. I don't know why it's
It was a
in my head, but I
Thursday.
think it was
100%. It was Thursday.
And when we knew Chicken Burger Day was coming, you better believe your mum had put prepaid money on your account.
People were actually checking their account in the mornings and being like, right, I need to deposit 10p so I've got enough for my chicken burger at break, because there's no time for me to put money on then.
Also, when the bell went, right, you were on the edge of the seat, you were packed up. You were dressed up. You got that blazer back on, mate. It was like the start of Mario Kart and the people who knew how to press accelerate when it got to 2. Those people got their chicken burgers. If you were in DT room, music room, or any of the surrounding area, you were
got that
absolutely
shit.
blessed. You go on 2, you've got that. If you were down in a fucking languages hut or doing PE,
You're fucked,
no
mate.
chance. No
Don't bother.
chance. So it got to the point where we were racing, people were elbowing out the way. The queue would go all the way through the canteen, right out through the meadows of the village, everywhere. You'd be queuing for days. And if you were the person that was behind the person that got the last chicken burger, worst day. You're having a shit week, mate. Sorry to hear it. So we'd get ready. And if you missed your chicken burger, right, that's when you go on the hunt. You'd find your mates who had chicken burgers. You'd beg, you'd plead, you'd steal. I remember stealing. I'd put my hand in and just grab whatever I could. Sometimes it'd be bun, sometimes it'd be bun and lettuce. And if you were really lucky, you'd get a nice fucking chunk. And your friend would understand. They'd be mad, but they'd understand because it was such a glorious day. Friends were made, enemies were made. And if you got a chicken burger, you were a winner, mate. Now I know why the chicken legend is called the chicken legend at McDonald's, because they obviously went to our school and experienced chicken burger day.
The phrase "winner winner chicken dinner" came from Chicken Day, okay? And also, if you were one of those bitches in DT Food Tech, you know, right? People were checking their timetables on a Thursday morning with their mates going, "Oh, you've got DT? Yeah, get me a chicken burger and I'll meet you at the hall."
And that's when they started capping how many you could get. Because the dinner ladies, it was us v them, mate. They knew they had power and they used it. They just cap it. They'd be like, right, okay, so you can only get one now. I think it went down to one per person.
That's disgusting.
I got really...
That is so funny.
Emotional. That food, I loved that food though. I actually thought it was nice.
It was great.
I remember once there was this guy that joined our school. He's an absolute legend, like proper sweetheart. And,
I know who we're talking about.
when he joined the school, everyone, like, there were rumours going around because he joined like halfway through, like maybe year 9, I want to say year 10, and there were rumours going around the school because there was this guy in year 11 at the time because we were a bit younger. He joined our year, but we were a bit younger than this other guy, and everyone was shit scared of him. We were like, oh, he's in a gang, like blah 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 blah, like we're scared, like don't even make eye contact. And then when this new kid started, rumours were going round that kid that you wouldn't make eye contact with was scared of him, right? And this guy, he's actually such a legend, like there was nothing to be scared of, but obviously these rumours went round. And I remember once when he joined, don't know what was in me, he was eating this lovely bit of pizza, right? And as we all know, I was a dancer winning into house. And there's one time in the playground, I don't think I even processed my thought. He was eating his big slice of pizza, and I just high kicked, went bing, and kicked the pizza out of his hand. So he's holding his pizza, and I went,
"You're
bing,
disgusting."
And the pizza went like that, and he just turned around and went, "Get me another slice now." And I was like, I haven't got any money to spend it all on chicken burgers, mate.
Oh, stop.
Shout out, legends.
That's so good.
And
Yeah.
I remember I used to like scavenge off of people for food because my mum would do me a really nice packed lunch, but I'd eat it on the bus in the morning. I'd eat breakfast at home and then eat all of my lunch on the 40-minute
You
bus.
know what I had? You know what I had for about 7 years before
Insert it,
I ever
Aaron.
got to school or college? Bovril
Bovril
sandwiches.
toast. Bovril sandwich.
That's the one. Yeah, everyone, especially on our way to college, would literally, especially our friend, the guys, they would literally rip the piss and be like, "Oh, Grace is rationing again. She's got the Bovril sandwiches." And I'm like, "Yeah, great, fantastic. Make the joke." Hilarious.
Expecting you to get a tin of Spam out as well.
Oh, don't.
Trying to think of
Oh my
something
God,
funny.
do you remember there was a girl group in the year above us, right? And they used the letters of their name. Is it an acronym? Is that what I'm thinking of? To make an acronym? Yeah, but anyway, they were called Jekebs, right? So us girls, I don't know if you were in this, Jemima, were you?
Probably not.
No, I don't think so, sorry. So in like mine and Jemima's year, the year below, we were like, oh my God, me and my friends were like, that's so sick. We've got to do that. Like they proper set trends. Okay. And they were like really cool, had like really cool like indie fashion. Like they were just the ones, right? So me and the girls were like, oh my God, we've got to do it. We've got to do it. So we made it of our names and we were Rock Jets. Amazing.
I remember the Rock Jets. Fuck.
I was the silent G in the middle of Rock and Jets, which was great.
Rock Jets. So what was having a boyfriend like at school? How many did you have?
3.
Okay.
That was 2 in year 7 and 1 actual like relationship.
Your first proper relationship.
Like first proper relationship. So had that little fling. Well, it wasn't a fling. It was a cute little boyfriend I had. The one in form that I mentioned, and that was for 2 weeks.
Got a JLS CD out of it though, so you can't.
Record breaking. But I think I've got this weird thought in my head that I was like proper an idiot. So I like broke up with him, and then like some other guy had asked me out, and he was like the fittest guy in our year. Yeah, and we went out for like 2 months, I think. The only thing I remember about our little relationship that happened for like 2 seconds was he was my best friend at the time's neighbour. Like literally the houses were like there, okay? She had this like stunning, huge house.
Converted hotel.
And pretty much.
It was a converted hotel.
How do you know this?
Because I was her best friend for ages.
Shut up. I was her best friend for ages.
No, you were for like a year at the beginning, and then you were enemies.
No, for like years. The last year we were enemies.
Let them fight.
Yeah, so she would always, like the friend, she would always host like these mad cool like pool parties. Then above the room with her pool in it, she had like this cool games room with like a huge sofa.
So lucky to have that.
So lucky. She knows it as well.
No,
like,
we were so lucky to have
lucky.
that as well. Like that was so cool
yeah,
to be able to
sure.
share that with her.
Yeah, defo. And yeah, so he like came to it, and this was like the only time I think that we went to like a gathering we were actually like together. And he bought me this Valentine's Day card, and it had 2 stick people on the front. It said, "Girl, you as well hot, you probably cause global warming," and it had like the world on it. Like God. A globe. And I was literally like so chuffed for it. I was like, oh my God, this is the cutest thing I've ever got in my life. But yeah, like for some reason relationship ended. Well, relationship I say. And you know, a bit pointless. And one of my close friends, I'm pretty sure, fed him information that I was psychically obsessed with him for the next like 5 years of school. And so we didn't really speak. We literally did not really ever speak again.
He didn't really speak to any girls though, to be honest. He was a boy's boy.
No, yeah.
I used to get the bus with him, and he was like really nice. That's cute. I think I had loads of boyfriends. I was just getting through them to see which one was the best. I remember I broke up with one of them. It actually sucked because Amber really liked this guy, but I went out of him. Anyway, sorry about that, Amber. It's the only thing she's ever been upset with me about. But
wow.
This is like, we're talking like when we're really young, before you think I'm a shit friend, alright? And I remember my best friend at the time, my best school friend, had a joint birthday party with her other friend where it was like a dress-up party. And I went as Katy Perry for no reason, just because I wanted like this gummy bear necklace, because that song came out at the time. Get California girls, we're running now.
Was this the one that I went to and I wore that Egyptian dress with my boyfriend?
No, that was a different one. This was when we were really young, and my best friend at the time, she went as Hannah Montana, but she went as Miley Cyrus first. And then halfway through her party, she like changed into Hannah Montana. She loved it. She loved that
is classic.
Anyway, this boyfriend that I had at the time, like, we never kissed or anything. Like, we were not boyfriend and girlfriend. I was just like, I'd done the list. I'd gone through all the boys, and I was like, well, I guess you're next then. And he was dressed up as Ali G.
Oh my God.
And I remember sitting him down at the party, and I was like, look, I don't think this is going to work out. But he was like fully dressed as Ali G, so he had like the full neon yellow like shell suit with like this drawn on and the do-rag and the glasses, and I had to sit there like and break up with Ali G.
Stop. Oh my God. For some reason
funny.
that just reminded me of the time that we all met. Actually, I don't think you were there, but we all met like Big Nasty in college. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah, and our friend, who's an absolute hilarious liability, like she's just so pure. and so innocent that she's just so funny. And I remember you told me a story, if I've got this right, where she was at the front by the stage and Big Nasty was just like putting Grey Goose down her throat.
So you're along the right lines. It was at Atlantis on Eastbourne Pier. Shout out.
I've never been.
And it's not, no, not really. Cameo is the one. You know that. You know that shit.
No.
And we were at Atlantis, and then there was all of these like boys, like, oh my god, Big Nasty, let me get a picture of you. Like, oh my god, Big Nasty, you're so cool. They were literally like, Big Nasty, yeah.
Insta. Man's got fish, cuz.
And then me, I think it was Ams, and then this other friend, we like went up to him and we were like waiting our turn. We were fine to wait for these geezers to finish. And we were like, and he was like, you alright, girls? This is not how Big Nasty sounds, I'm sorry, but whatever. And we were literally like, yeah, we just like want to get a picture, like, with you. And he's like, yeah, move aside to all these guys. He like shoves them, they go flying, they hit the wall, right? And then he's like, yeah, girls, get a pic. And we're like, with Big Nasty. And then he's got one of those like things that slow it down where you pour alcohol down your throat. Yeah. And he had like Grey Goose or something dirty. And he was like, oh, do you want some, girls? And at the time, I wasn't a big drinker. Do you remember?
I don't think you were even 18. It was like a college freshers party.
Yeah, it was. We weren't 18 yet. But like, I wasn't really a drinker anyway. Like, everyone starts drinking when they're like 14 at school. But I just like, it wasn't really my thing, hardcore.
She was too focused on her moon boot business.
Holla you girl. And
wanna get out of PE? Call G Greaves.
Terms and conditions apply. And
moon boots also separately.
And then so and so was like, I'll have some. And then he was literally like, yeah, all right. And she was literally taking it like a champ, okay, taking it. And he was like, how about you or whatever?
Scandal. Big Nasty's gonna be a massive scandal now.
Scandal girls.
This is only story time. Don't take it too personal. And and then he said it to me, and I was literally like, no, like I'm good, thanks. And he was like, come on, I know you want. And I was literally like, no, honestly, like I'm fine, thanks. Like, but I'm trying not to be that girl that's like, no. So I was literally like, no, I'm all right, thanks. And he was like, oh, come on. And I was like, no, like, I'm okay, thanks. I think after the third time, he was like, he didn't offer again, but I was like, fucking hell, geez.
Surprised there was any left after our mate goggled it down.
Oh, I know, she gurgled the whole thing.
That's so funny. Have you met any other celebrities whilst you're at school or college?
I met like Aloe Black, but that was like a signing.
Oh, that's cool.
Met Conor Maynard for a signing.
Obviously. I walked past Kem and Chris in my first year of uni. They were doing a book signing in the W.H. Smiths in Brighton.
Stop!
There was a queue in W.H. Smiths and I was going to the post office because it's in there. And I walked past, I was like, what's all this commotion about? And I went through a book thing like this, like a bookshelf, like. And it was Chris and Kem from Love Island, and I was like, oh, that was cool. But then also, when it was the Fringe Festival, I was in Waterstones, and I walked past Bill Nye, and he went, hello.
Wow. That's goals.
Yeah, I did.
Bill Nye, the science guy. Bill.
Nye.
Oh.
Bill Nye, the actor, the like famous Aaron picture, please.
Sorry.
I guess
mate.
we're like 1-1 now on the Marvel versus actor.
Yeah, but I'm just shit with names. If you show me a picture, I'll know.
You're not shit with names.
Whatever.
You know everyone's cousin's left arm's dog.
Listen, right, guys.
Town, mate. She knows all of your details. You better lock up your personal details because Grace is gonna find you. She's been studying since school. What do you think she was doing in isolation? looking you all up on her iPhone. She had an
Listen.
iPhone 3 before any of us had an iPhone, mate. She had Hobo on there, this game where you looked after a homeless man, which is severely inappropriate. You had
What?
Doodle Jump. You had like all the games, and every sleepover Grace held, I'd be like, go on, your games.
Do you got games on your phone?
But yeah, you had this app on your phone where you had to look after iHobo. Aaron put a
Oh my
picture
god, I
in,
think I remember it.
put video
I think
in.
I remember it.
Savage.
Yeah, well, Kick was the one. Kick was what we all used, right, in school.
Yeah.
Oh my
Kick.
god.
And
Speaking
then
of
BBM.
Kick, yeah, I didn't have a BlackBerry. Did you?
I didn't until the last minute when everyone had iPhones, and I was like, finally got my hands on a BlackBerry. Finally. Anyone got BBM? And everyone was like, fuck off.
Fuck BBM.
Because like all my friends had Blackberries when they were cool, and do you remember like going around someone's and we'd be like, do you want a BBM session? They're like, yeah, and then they'd put as their bio name like Amber and Jemima,
Yes.
and then you'd like talk.
That's what we did on MSN though. I used to do it on my family computer.
Yeah,
like,
right.
oh my god, I heart Jemima Bowler and Amber and Lizzie and all of my best friends, and that would be my name, my MSN screen name. Oh my god,
MSN
stop.
was lit. I'm so glad you've brought that up.
So good.
So funny. And then when you had a webcam, Logitech webcam that you had to plug in externally, you're good to go.
That was
used
the
to love it.
shit.
And then when you
Get
got
me
like,
on.
when you got like emoticons, and you could like, so whenever you press the S key, like some big like bougie S would come up.
Oh,
So funny.
we love that shit. We love that shit. Yeah. On Kick was great, mate. Okay, I'm not
Still
dissing
alive
Kick.
today.
I know. There was this one time, right, in school. It was actually very sad. But we can laugh about it now. Whatevs. And all of me and my gyals, we all had a Kick and whatever. Anyway, they made this like fake profile of this guy that was like American or something. And he was like so fit. They took the picture straight off Tumblr or Pinterest or something, okay? He was stunning. And this guy, said guy, can't even remember the fake name, he was chatting to me, and it was all of my friends. I don't know if it was one of them. We never really spoke about it, obviously. Not really. It was kind of like a few others of them. They all kind of like took turns. That's the way they made it out to be, I think. Might be completely baffled, but anyway. And yeah, so they would like take turns and like message me as this guy, and he's like, oh, I really like you, and like blah blah. And I think at one point he was like, oh, send me a pic, and I sent him the picture that was on my Facebook of me in a bikini on holiday. So it wasn't like, do you know what I mean? It wasn't like anything dodgy and horrible. And he was just like, oh, you're so beautiful, like, blah, blah. Anyway, I was like, oh my God, this guy really likes me, like, blah, blah. And
Everyone,
like at the panto. Yeah. And then, and then I remember the girls started messaging me saying, like, but like as this guy saying like, oh yeah, I started talking to one of your friends, like, and I was literally like, oh. And this girl was kind of like the it girl, as well as one of our best mates. So I was just like, oh, okay, you started talking to her. Okay, guess you don't want me then. And I was just like, oh, right, okay. And he's like, and I really like her, and she's like so beautiful, but like you're so beautiful. So I was literally like, I don't understand. Bear in mind, I'm like a 14-year-old child. I'm like, I do not know what's going on.
do not compute.
Computer says no. And and yeah, and then turns out it all came out that it was all my best mates, and they were trying to teach me a lesson about being careful online.
Oh, off. Oh, it's just mean. It's rude.
But bearing in mind, it was apparently for my own good, they sent all like screenshots of the conversation and like me sending the bikini pic round to our guy version of our group chat. So like we were all one big friendship group, like huge. There was literally like 30 of us or something crazy, like 20, 30 of us. And yeah, and then it was like a running joke, like, oh my God, you thought you was actually chatting to that guy. And I was just like,
That's hideous.
I hate my
Hideous.
life. That was
Honestly.
like the only time in school that I was just like, I genuinely don't want to go to school.
Honestly,
We can laugh about it now, but
anyone listening that's still in school, like, just throw your phone away. One.
yeah.
But two, like, don't trust it unless you've literally video chatted with someone.
I think people are way too smart nowadays. Like my little
Yeah.
sister,
Tech wizards.
she's like in school, like, but she would not fall for that shit. Do you know what I mean?
I
I
mean-
think where social media is so normalised now, like people are actually fairly aware of the signs. So if it was just like a dodgy picture, do you know what I mean? You'd be like, you're clearly catfishing me.
Yeah,
like we've
right, 'cause-
watched too much Catfish now.
Facebook started when we were in year 7, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
like,
or just before, I think.
And so it was like basic. You couldn't do anything. There was no analytics. There was no like algorithm. It was just
No.
like post a status, whatever. And now it's pretty scary. So yeah, we're pretty lucky in
Yeah.
that regard. Where we got like we're good with tech, and like we've got the skills if we wanted to get a job or whatever, or like this. Like I know how to like edit like sound or whatever. But it was like basic enough that it didn't consume us. Like when we put in shit on Instagram, like we weren't like posing for it or like face tuning or like anything like that. We just put a picture up of something random and just like not care about it.
Oh my god, it was awful. The amount of archived pictures me and you have on Instagram, right?
So good.
Whew. It's a bit
Yeah.
crazy.
Welcome to the deep
Yeah.
part of the podcast.
Welcome to the deep part. The
Throw
deep
yourself in the
end.
deep end. No one really
Yeah,
crossed
bless
me
'em.
at school because I wasn't like
Phew,
I wasn't a
alright.
proper popular kid, but I wasn't like an outsider either. I feel like I was just like did whatever I want, like was cool with everyone, and just like
Yeah.
I was just there
For
having
sure.
a laugh, mate.
You're having a bants, mate. I wish I was having bants.
I was there for the chicken burgers and the bants. So any advice? Okay, so we've gone through a lot of our growing up. We didn't really touch college much, but it was kind of boring. Like, whatever, we don't need to talk about that. School. If you could go back and speak to yourself, starting year 7, knowing what you know now, what would you tell little G?
I would tell her. Thing is, I wasn't like. Can I just side note on this? I wasn't like all about. I feel like we were all like this in school. Like body image wasn't a huge thing for us because social media wasn't huge yet. Like because there wasn't Facetune, because there wasn't influencers, blah blah. Body image was actually completely fine. So it wouldn't even be in that respect, but it would just be like mine. Do you know what my message would be? It would be like calm down. I was so angry. I was such an angry teen, and all of that anger definitely came from somewhere. It was quite deep, but
For sure.
like, it's okay. Chat to your family, and also stop texting your nana slagging off your mum because it's gonna come up on you, mate.
I know.
Cut the cameras, dead ass.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass.
Anything else?
How about you? No, I think that's me done.
Okay.
What would you tell year 7 Jemima?
I would probably tell her that like double down on your jokes, because I remember like I was having a laugh, but I was always a little bit scared of getting told off. So I think I would say like getting told off at school doesn't actually mean anything, as long as you're not hurting anyone and you're not being like a dick. If you're just having a laugh,
Yeah.
like there are so many funny things you could do. Like
Yeah.
I'd probably say to myself, like, just, like, be even funnier. Like, do what you want, kind of thing. That's probably not good advice to tell young kids, though.
Yeah.
And I would also say, make sure you're in DT on Chicken Burger Day. And I think also maybe, like, on a serious note, I would say, like, don't, and I feel like this is still a note that I should give myself now, is like, I often assume what someone thinks about me, or I assume what they're thinking or what they're going to say, when in reality we absolutely have no idea what someone's thinking right now.
Yeah.
And I would just say, like, when you make new relationships and you make new friends or whatever, don't assume they feel any way about you. Just be yourself, and if they like you, like, they'll be your friend, and if they don't, just let them move on. Like, the best thing you can do is just be yourself, like completely authentically, and the right people who will vibe on that level will come with you.
100%.
Yeah.
100,000,000%. And also, like, didn't we kind of like we didn't really lose touch, but you go through phases, don't you, in school when you're closer with people, and then we all went to like college that wasn't close to us, like wasn't any neighbouring college, because we kind of wanted to get away from, not like run away from friends, they weren't horrible
just like
or anything,
try something
like,
new.
just new change kind of thing. And then it was me, you, Ams and Liz, and then the two boys, and we were like besties, like on the train. It was like the best time ever. And we didn't even at first, well, I didn't know that you guys were going to college, to that college. So we, like, when I found out, I think I found out through Liz, and then she was like, oh, Jemima and Amber are going as well. And I was like, what? We've got like a whole girl gang. And then
getting the train together, because it'd be like 40 minutes on the train. I can't even like piece together like when everyone like synced up.
Well, we were in like a bigger group, weren't we? So there was like your best mate of years and years and years.
I'd go through phases though, I think, because like I'm so independent. Like I was saying, like I wasn't like super popular, but I wasn't super anything. I was just kind of in my own lane, and I'd like at playtime, at lunchtime, whatever you want to call it, I would just like go and hang out with who I felt like I wanted to hang out with that day. Because especially near the end of it, everyone was in smaller groups, and like so some days I would go see Amber and I'd hang out with her and her mates, and then like some days I'd hang out with like you. Some days I'll hang out
Liz
with someone
would always be
random.
In the sports department as well, wouldn't she? She
was
always
Liz,
with the guys.
And I think in the last year, like, because I was so into like GCSE dance, I was always in the dance studio at lunch. Like I'd just go in the dance studio. Good times. How time has flown. You know, we started school 21 years ago.
What?
No. Yeah.
No, we didn't.
20 years. Sorry. 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
10 years? That's mad.
No,
Secondary
12
school.
years ago.
I'll make your bloody mind up, you stupid bloody woman!
Our first year was 2009.
Yeah, it was 09. G Grieve
And
was
it's
my login.
2021 now. So, okay, 11 years then, because obviously September. 11 years ago. Do you wish you could go back?
That's crazy. Like all the time, but like go back as now, not take me back to me as a kid, because I was probably just fucking
I can't go through that shit again.
Yeah, no, that was too much. That was a bit deep. But yeah, like go back and see teachers. They're so strict in there now. Like I can't remember who it was, but they were like, oh yeah, I tried to go back and like say hello to teachers, and they're like, have you got an appointment? They've got like now like double sealed doors that you have to be buzzed in through the reception.
It's for all the ombre
And, like,
girls. They're locked up.
It's for the mad thing is, both my cousins still go there. I could just be like, yeah, I'm picking them up. They're in isolation.
That's crazy. I'd like to go back again. If they do open the Open Olympics on Sports Day, we should definitely go say hi. That'd be so fun.
Remember when they did that and like everyone would come back and it was just so sick.
Once I saw a girl and she had like a black hairstyle in, because she was of that ethnicity. Obviously it's her hair, like that's what she should do. And I remember seeing the head teacher telling her off, saying it was inappropriate. And now obviously with everything going on, looking into like racial politics, like that was
Do you know what? I can't remember. That is so horrendous. I can't remember that actual school, but recently it was kind of like all over social media that a school like protested and like left class because the school had announced you weren't allowed to wear hijabs and something else. You weren't allowed to wear your afro. You weren't allowed to have your afro out, okay, your natural hair. And all of the school like completely protested and left class, left everything. And then the head teacher came out, like, I don't know if it was like a day later but it wasn't like weeks had gone by kind of thing, because they were still kind of protesting. And he announced that they basically scrapped that rule. But that is just so vile that people think they can make a rule like that you can't
like
wear your hair naturally.
And
Imagine a head teacher. Imagine a head teacher turning around and going, "Oh, you're white and you've got blonde hair. No, sorry, you need to like dye it because that's not
colour.
appropriate for school."
It's
Oh
just,
my god, that is horrible.
It's just stupid because it's just like, who is telling you? Like, who is telling the head teacher? Either the media
Who's telling
they
them to tell you
consume,
this?
or that's their feeling. And if you've got like a straight white male in charge of school and he's telling you can do this, like girls had to wear skirts. I was freezing. Like I got like in our diaries we had like this section where you could write like if you got like a disciplinary for like your uniform, and it was the middle of winter. It was friggin' like November, December, January, somewhere like that, and we weren't allowed to wear trousers, right? So I would wear like woolly tights, and then in the winter I would wear socks over my woolly tights. They wouldn't be fashionable, they were like navy the colour, they're like woolly socks, and like they didn't look good, they did not look good, but I needed to be warm. Like it was freezing, we had to go outside at lunch, we had to be outside doing other things, whatever, and I got a disciplinary for wearing socks over my tights.
That is so mad. That is so mad, isn't it?
It's stupid. Like why can't girls wear trousers? Why can't people wear their natural hair? It's just so
Honestly.
stupid. It's like, and like, what are you teaching someone? Nothing. But speaking of uniform, it was funny though, because they were so strict with that. When it came to Mufti Day, everyone went all out. You got cleavage, mate. You got underage tattoos on show. You've got designer. I mean, I was one of those kids that like, I owned like a couple designer pieces that I probably got from TK Maxx that were too big for me.
Oh my god, stop.
And they're all clashing colours, but on Mufti Day, I was putting that outfit together. I had turquoise Ralph Lauren trainers with super dry trousers, right? With a Ralph Lauren, which were like, no, they weren't super dry trousers. Yeah, they were super dry trousers. They were like chino colour. And then with like...
Don't tell me you had a Gola bag at this point.
Oh yeah, go to bad girls. That was our gang. And I remember one girl got a fake one, which probably wasn't even fake, and we were like, yeah, you're not a real go to bad girl. Anyway, side story. And yeah, and then I had like a Ralph Lauren polo that was probably like men's, and then I had a, which was like, I don't know, like it was a bright pink Lacoste. That's what it was, bright pink Lacoste polo, like hot pink. So I think you've got turquoise, chino, hot pink, and then a pink Jack Wills knitted cable jumper over the top, and then the piece de la resistance, a brown super dry gilet. Yes, sir.
I don't even want to picture it.
And I
I'm
bet
upset.
you were in your JLS hoodie every year religiously.
No, mate.
Or whoever
I
you were
don't know
obsessed
what I
with. It was
wearing.
like Conor Maynard one year, Jay Beebs the next.
No. Okay, I want to just say something here. So every girl, JB, were obsessed. Okay, obsessed, mate. Especially my cousin. She was the one. We actually went to the My World 2.0 tour. Amazing.
I can't relate to that.
And yeah, so everyone was like, oh my god, Justin Bieber, oh my god, yeah, Biebs. And I was like, do you know what? I don't want to follow these people. I want to be cool. So I don't know who remembers MTV Run's House. It was literally amazing. It was the best thing. Anyway, his son that was our age, Diggy Simmons, shout out to my husband, okay? Gonna get Aaron to insert a picture right now of what Diggy Simmons looked like and what Diggy Simmons looked like now. I ain't playing you people, okay? When I said it, I even remember our friend, and he was like, oh, come on, you like him, like, you joking, he's got braces, you know, like, blah, blah. He had, like, a mad little cute haircut. It was just all crazy out here, okay? 10 years later, gorgeous.
Back to the actual story.
Sorry.
Grace was obsessed with Diggy Simmons, and remember backing up a little bit, we said that Facebook came in when we weren't really quite sure what was going on.
You're gonna bait me out hard.
And Grace comes into form one day, right? And she goes, God, you were so shit at the internet. She comes in and she goes, Alright, so didn't tell anyone, but I'm friends with Diggy Simmons on Facebook, the real one. And we messaged. And I was like, who's Diggy Simmons? She showed me and I was like, oh my god. And inside I was jealous. I was heaving. I was just like, oh yeah, so you two talk, do you? Oh yeah. And I think I actually went home that night and like added him and like tried to find him and was like, yeah, you can talk to me too. I'm gonna search my Facebook. Wait, I'm gonna search my Facebook and see if I've got any messages with Diggy Simmons. But yeah, Grace and Diggy used to chat, and I think it was like a year or so ago. I was like, do you remember when you used to talk to Diggy Simmons? She was like, yeah.
Oh my god. The thing is though, that's funny, I added like 20 different Diggy Simmons on Facebook, and my stepdad at the time was like, you're talking to Frank from Brighton. And I was like, no, I'm not. It's all the same person. Literally. And he was literally like, again, a fucking again.
Oh Lord. Again. A fucking again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit. Same old fucking...
Well, the internet played you hard back in the day.
God, that's not even the creme de la creme. You know what the creme de la creme is, mate. We ain't even going there.
That's not for the show. Right, so everyone, we're going to come to the end in a sec of this episode. But we just wanted to kind of go full circle and just highlight some things that were just super funny, have stayed with us, have been character building, things for us in life. So Grace, what is the biggest thing you've taken away from school that you think has made you who you are?
Oh my god, Jemima, that's a proper deep question. I'm like, what? I think just to like actions speak louder than words. Like, I know that you're quite young, but especially when you're talking to guys and friends and like fake friendships and toxic men and whatever, boys at the time, like just to be cautious of like them feeding you all of these like promises, because you're young, and like actually these types of people probably look back and they're like, wow, I was an arsehole, wow, I shouldn't have said that, do you know what I mean? But as soon as I kind of hit college, and you're still so young in college, like I was kind of like, oh, like I don't think he means that, because like trust your instincts. If you know they're not following through with kind of everything that they're saying to you, like especially the popular guys, and you're excited because you're like, oh my god, I'm speaking to so and so, and everyone's like, what? Nah, don't do shit under pressure.
Remember, like, everyone's figuring it out themselves as well. So like, it's not to sit here and go like, oh, you better watch out for these people in your class because they're gonna do you over. No, they're not intentionally doing you over. Hopefully, they're just figuring their own stuff out, and unfortunately, like, people have to play a part in that, you know. But I think the best advice I would give, like, especially a young girl listening to this, if you're still in school or whatever, remember, the hottest guy at school will turn out the weirdest, ugliest man. We have proof. We obviously can't share the proof, but anyone listening, you know who the J Beebs of our school was, and you don't need to worry about trying to impress him anymore.
My God.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass.
So with peace and love, basically we're going to end on saying, don't take school too seriously. Be nice. Be super kind to everyone. Don't hate on people that you think are like losers or like people that are different from you. Like, you'd never ever have to like be horrible to people just because other people are. Just try and be nice with everyone. Have good vibes. Stay in your lane. Get your grades that you need to move on in life, and just have fun. School isn't serious, okay? Yeah. And anyone who makes you think that you're crazy or you don't fit in, you don't need to try and impress them or win them over.
Lads, remember? What we're trying to say is everything Irie.
Moral of the story is Grace hated me, and then she realised what sick ass dope bitch I was. And now I was missing out, mate. Get enough of me. She was missing out for you. I was just doing
I'm begging for it.
So enjoy school. Stay in school. Peace and love.
Stay safe, kids.
I'm saying come through. You know?
Oh, that's what you want.